Do I
All
get to
right.
introduce myself? Do I get to be the first guest this time?
Yes, I believe you do. So let's start that recording and start that stream. Welcome to Horsin Around, a dumbass cast. I'm your host, as always, Nick Mercadante, and with me today I have one lovely guest. If you'd like to introduce yourself.
My name is Brad, and I am the number one guest. In
He's the
fact, I'm the only guest
He is the number one
this
guest
week.
today.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing a little early recording and stream for this episode because I am going back to Jersey for this weekend for some celebrations. So, had to kind of throw this together on noon on a Friday. So,
What a
thank
time.
thank
What a
you,
time.
Brad, for rolling through. And yeah, we're just gonna have a little cozy chat today.
All
Um,
right. I want to lead with a question, Nick. You've been
sure.
circling the earth for a whole year looking for guests for your show, and where did that
Mm-hmm.
bring you?
Back to you.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
yeah. Come back around to it. When was the first time you were on here? It's probably like, I
It
mean,
wasn't that early on. I'm thinking maybe like episode 26 or something, or even
yeah,
40. It was
it,
it was not early.
yeah. It was like, I was it after I moved here, or was it earlier than that? I'm trying to think. I think you probably were on one of the earlier episodes, but not like.
I was on the worm episodes.
Yeah. Well,
I
yeah.
think the
You were on
first one
the
I
you were
was
on the
on,
worm recordings, but those weren't
yeah,
Horse
those
Around
weren't the same
episodes.
thing.
Um.
And that was my first time being on any of your stuff.
Right. Yeah. It wasn't you. The first time you were on wasn't the Last of Us 2 review, was it?
Yeah, that might have
Was
been.
that the
It was
first
either
time?
that or it was either that time or it was about it was like you, Yash, Nicole, and I, and we were talking about something.
Oh, yeah,
That might
that
have been
was
the
an
first time.
episode where Nicole was on. Right, long time ago. Um,
And then Last of Us was after
I
that,
think it was.
maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
I did
Um,
replay The Last of Us 2 recently. My opinion has changed a little bit.
okay.
I after giving it like a year to cool down, I'm enjoying it more. I
That's
like the gameplay, you know.
gotcha. Yeah, that's cool. That's good.
And you notice little things the second time around that you didn't see the first time, like little foreshadowing and stuff that it pays off in a cool way.
Mhm.
But I don't
Yeah.
think a lot of people were replaying it afterwards.
No, yeah, I think that was definitely especially because like it's emotionally taxing. Like even if you did
Right.
enjoy it, it's still emotionally taxing. You know.
I'm borrowing my friend's copy. He played it. He loved it. It was one of his best games of the year, and
Mm-hmm.
he was like, "I'm not going to play this again for several years, so you can just borrow it until you have your fill of it."
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, like, I definitely know games like that. There's games that are emotionally committing, and then there's games that are just like time commitments. Um,
Yeah. League of
like.
Legends. That's an emotional commitment too, though.
Yeah, that's a 2-for-1 deal, and I don't think I'm ever gonna be picking that up again. So
I've considered it. I was thinking maybe it would be fun to just
don't get
play
back
like
into
a
crack.
bot game with my girlfriend. I never got into it the same way the rest of you guys did. Because I
Good.
really only liked playing like the custom games where we did like 5 on 5 or
Oh
when we played
yeah,
against bots. I never really liked playing against other people.
yeah, yeah. You made the smart decision. We made the crack addiction decision.
I don't know if it was a decision. It was just like I just didn't enjoy it when we were playing against other people because I don't know.
Well, because
When I play a game, I want
we
to
would
enjoy
get
it.
like so sweaty like that,
Right.
and that's when you gotta like you don't realize it when you're getting super sweaty because like if you win at
No,
the end, it's
especially if
just
it's
like
3 in the morning.
oh yeah. Like when you get sweaty and then you win at the end, you're like, oh yeah, fucking great work, guys.
That was worth it.
But
Yeah.
then like yeah, but then you don't think about all the times you lose, and you're like, fuck, man, oh god, so
No, I
mad.
feel that way with Overwatch too. A lot of my friends who play it still are into competitive,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't vibe with me. When I play it, I just want to play like attack Torbjorn. I just want to do something stupid and have fun.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm just like I don't know. I remember there was a time where I really like had in my mind like esports was starting to blow up with League, and I was just like, if I get good enough, I can become a pro League of Legends player,
I'm gonna
and
be
I
a
can
pro gamer.
yeah, I'm gonna be a pro gamer for real. And like it's just so much time commitment. Like you
It is.
legitimately like there was like an esports team at RIT, and like you would devote so many hours to just like doing sessions of that and practicing nonstop. It's
And
a
then,
sport. Like
right.
you're sitting down at a computer, but you're still training your ass off to like
It's true what
fucking.
they say too, where if it's something you enjoy and you start doing it as a job, you stop liking it as
Yes.
much.
Yeah, I would
'Cause-
imagine that. And that's probably why I stopped. Like, I think I've given up on doing just about competitive anything. Like, I
yeah,
was,
I don't know. I want to have fun.
I fucking, stopped League. I played Overwatch. I stopped doing Overwatch. Overwatch was just because I was, like, getting sucked into college and then I never really came back around to it. But I think
Right.
I would still have the same issues that you're talking about where it's just, like, it wouldn't be fun to try and do, like, the competitive grind for me
I did
anymore.
have fun. I had a spare account sitting around that I got for like $7 during a Humble Bundle. I bought a Humble Bundle and it came with another copy of Overwatch.
Hmm.
So I let my girlfriend play it. We were playing it for a bit with some friends, just playing like screwing around, and that was fun. Like that's the kind of stuff I like.
Yeah, and
Just quick play, do whatever.
now they have like a custom games browser, don't they? Where they like
Hmm.
let you
Yeah,
do custom rules and stuff. That seems pretty
do
fun.
whatever you want. Yeah,
Um,
I haven't fiddled with it, but
yeah, and then like I was doing Rainbow Six Siege for a while towards the end of college,
that's a big one.
and yeah, that was like I was on that grind for a little bit, but like that same thing just got too sweaty, and eventually. I mean, I guess I kind of swapped it out for Dead by Daylight, but like Dead by
That's a
Daylight,
different kind of vibe,
it
though.
is a very peculiar type of situation where like with the asymmetrical aspect of it, and since I like playing killer, it's literally just on me to just take out the 4 survivors. If you're a survivor main, then like sure I can imagine you get pretty sweaty and upset at teammates for fucking things up.
It's still a game. It takes like, the thing's over in about like 10 minutes most of the time. So,
Right. Yeah, it's not
unlike
that
League of
much.
Legends, an hour.
Right. I think they've apparently they've reduced that time like by a good
Thank
amount.
God.
Like I think it's gone down from an hour to like 30 minutes on average.
Okay,
Uh
that's pretty impressive
so
then,
it's
because
mostly manageable. And I think that was because they were realizing that people were complaining about it taking a fucking hour to do a
for
game.
each game, and then you lose, and your teammates are raging about it,
Yeah.
and like,
Yeah, that is an
not
hour of
fun.
your life wasted for salt at the end, you know?
Right.
Like, good lord. So I think they finally addressed that. Um, but yeah, I guess Dead
Oh.
by Daylight's my like current addiction.
Yeah, it's a good one. You had a
It
good
is a good
recommendation
addiction.
with it. It is a good
Hmm.
one. Um,
Are you Survivor or Killer Man? What do you
I
go
played
with?
Survivor a lot because I play with people,
Okay.
but like I've played Killer too, and I've had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
And sometimes you get people who complain. They're like, "You're not supposed to go invisible as Wraith," or like, "How dare you throw the axe at me as Hunter?" And I'm just like, well,
I'm just playing the game. This is literally how the character
a
works.
lot of the time, if someone gets to like the end, I just kind of like stand over them and let them go.
Yeah,
Or
yeah. You have some
if all their
fun.
teammates die in the beginning, I'll just like mess around with the last guy and let them leave.
Right. Yeah. And that's like that's kind of the beauty of it is that there's like this micro, social aspect to this fucking horror
You can't
game.
communicate at all, but you
You can
can
find
kind of
ways.
with gestures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you like in the same situation, if you down the last survivor and then pick them up and they don't wiggle, then you give them hatch.
Yeah.
They accept their
They're
fate. You're
done.
like, all right, fine. Here you go. No, yeah, totally. And like, I don't know. And when people are salty after you get like a 4K or whatever, I just don't read the end game chat. It's so easy to just go to
Yeah.
the next game. Like I don't even
I had
fucking read
someone
it.
I had so when I was playing, we got pretty high up there in rank on Survivor because I was playing with my one friend who's a rank 1 and he told me all the rank 1 strategies when I was rank 20. So
Yeah.
I got up to rank 6 like the first month I was playing it.
Yep.
And I switched to killer. I saw all the killers we were playing with had no add on, and I
Hmm.
was like, okay, I'll put that on because everyone seems to do it. And then some guy raged at me. He was like, you shouldn't have that on.
No
And I was
ed.
like,
No ed
yeah. And I was
escapes
like,
death. Oh
okay.
yeah.
I was like, I understand it. I didn't know. I haven't played killer before. I'm ranked 20. Let me be.
Yeah, people fucking. Look, to be fucking honest, like, no ed, sure, you can get butthurt about it, but, like, it's just another perk, man. Just, like,
Right.
you just need to know how to fucking deal with it, and, like, sure, you'll probably lose somebody, because that is kind of, like,
It's a confirmed kill at the end, kind of.
yeah, but, like, the rest of the people, as long as they're not really fucking arrogant, they can get out just fine.
Right.
It gets to be real fucked up when you do no ed and then make sure that you hook somebody after they open the exit gates, because then you can use Blood Warden, and then
I don't know what that
they're
is.
stuck. The Blood Warden is the Freddy Krueger perk that lets you, if
I
you
hate
hook.
that guy, man. He's the worst one.
He's pretty fucking annoying. If you
He's
hook
the worst one.
somebody after somebody opens an exit gate, basically it starts a 2-minute timer where if somebody tries to leave, the entity blocks the exit. So you can't run out for 2 minutes.
That's fucked,
It's
dude. What is that?
that's why like survivors
2 minutes
don't.
is forever at the end.
Right, exactly. And so that's why like, everybody after like base level survivors will 99 the gates and not open them, because you want to make sure that everybody is at the exit gates before opening them, so that they don't
Right.
somehow
They
get
don't pull
down
that.
while the gates opened and then have like a possible Bloodborne scenario. It's super
Crazy.
rare for a killer like going against high rank survivors to pull it off, but like when it happens, it's mwah, beautiful.
Painful.
Yeah, painful for survivors, that's for sure. And they just put out the new killer, Pinhead.
I saw that. I
from
bought
Hellraiser.
the Resident Evil one and then never played since. So I was like, I'm not gonna spend another $13 on it if I haven't played it. But
Yeah.
that's really the only multiplayer game I've been playing recently. I basically, once I got midway through college,
Mm-hmm.
in the early half of college, I just wasn't really playing games. I played like Overwatch on occasion.
Yeah.
And then later half of college, I just played a ton of single player stuff, and that's mostly what I do now.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of in the same boat. Like, I'm doing Final Fantasy IX for the stream,
Mhm.
and that's just kind of been occupying my like single player space for the last little while. There have been like some games that I've like touched on a little bit. I think I kind of binged Titanfall 2, the campaign of
I
that.
bought that. I bought that.
You
I haven't
gotta,
played it yet.
Brad. You gotta play it. You gotta play it.
I've
It is.
I've
It is.
heard. I don't know anything about it. I don't know any spoilers. I haven't
Yeah.
let anyone tell me. I've heard it's great. I haven't played it yet.
You really gotta, like, I think I was in the same boat where it's been sitting in my library for years, and then people finally like egged me into playing it. And it's a really short and sweet campaign, like only like less than 10 hours I think to do the whole campaign. And then it's both a great single player experience and a great multiplayer experience. So like
That's pretty
if you have
cool.
time that you want to invest in that, I think it is exceptionally fun when it's
Is
not
the
getting
multiplayer
DDoSed.
not down right now though? I
It
thought
might
the multiplayer
it might
was
be down right now. I have not checked
Yeah.
recently, but I think the Titanfall
The
subreddit
last
is.
I heard was that you couldn't get on.
Yeah, it was down for a while, and then it came back up because the guy that was. It's so confusing.
It was,
The guy.
it was a denial of service attack, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Wasn't
well,
that
the
what it
guy was the guy who was doing the DDoS attacks was also the guy that then provided the fix for the DDoS attacks. But he wasn't like revealing that it was the same person. Like we didn't know who the DDoSer was, and then people found out, and it was apparently a ploy by this person to get hired by Respawn.
Wow.
For fixing their game. Like he was trying to play both sides in the most convoluted way ever to then revive once he was in the company, he wanted to revive a shut down like Asian market Titanfall multiplayer only launcher that was like
What?
based on the Asian market or whatever. It's called Titanfall Online. It's so convoluted for just like.
So what happened to him? What's the end of this tale here?
I think they're DDoSing again. I think the servers are once again back down. I'm not sure if it's the same guy, but yeah. It's not looking great for Titanfall right now, because most of the
No.
resources are being dumped into Apex, which is understandable. It's fucking huge. But,
That was one of the other ones I never got into. I played it one time. You remember Jake? I played it one time at Jake's house a couple
Mhm.
years ago.
Yeah.
And I won the one match I played. I didn't do anything. I got carried by my teammates. And then I never played it again.
I think
Same with Valorant. I never got into that.
Yeah, I mean, I got into Valorant until my PC shit the bed, if you remember
You
that
had
last year.
you had the beta, I remember. You were
Oh,
getting
yeah,
at the
yeah, that was-
keys on your stream.
Right, that was the thing where I I was on that key grind where I got invited to the beta by just watching hours upon hours of other people
Right.
playing it, and then I was able to offer keys on my stream, which was pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
But yeah, that see that's like the other Riot game, and that's got the anti-cheat issue, which is like they got that Ring Zero access to your computer, which is kind of sketchy.
Oh yeah, not a
Um,
fan of that.
and I don't know if I'm gonna reinstall it. It was fun when I was playing it, but it was the same kind of sweat issue we've been talking about, where like you get too sweaty when you're playing it too much for the competitive aspect of it.
I
So
agree.
I don't
I
know.
agree.
But basically it's just been Dead by Daylight and Final Fantasy IX with like a hint of Titanfall, and then God, what is it? What else is in my Steam library right now? Uh,
Gotta look through.
yeah. Oh, I've been doing some Hunt Showdown recently. That's a really
I don't know what that
curious
is.
game. It's a three-player uh, combined PvP slash PvE game where you're basically dropped into this huge map in like the Louisiana Bayou, and there are these like there's like zombies and eldritch horror creatures running
That
around,
sounds kind of cool.
and you
I kind of vibe with this.
yeah, and so you basically there's two big monsters that are in specific locations on the map, and you have to look for clues to locate like their exact position, and then you go to that place, you fight the monster, you kill it, and then you try to take the token and get out. But there are, I think, seven or so other teams of like 2 to 3 people that are also trying to do that, and they'll kill you to take
Right.
like the monster token or whatever. So it's like that, kind of both
That's a
scenario.
neat spin
It's a
on it.
very interesting style of play, and it's also a I guess it's not really a roguelike, but it takes the roguelike element of if your character dies in a hunt, they're dead. You lose
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
You lose them in all their progress. So like all the levels that you achieved and like the perks you unlocked for them, gone.
That's
Um,
pretty brutal.
yeah,
Do you get
yeah.
any permanent upgrades or is that it? Like,
You get like when so there's like levels for the character and there's levels for you as a player. When you level up as a player, you get access to acquire perks for characters that you weren't able to before. So there are some perks that are like locked
kind of like
behind
the blood
levels.
web,
Yeah, kind of.
sort of.
And but yeah, so like it's for the most part you really don't keep anything. Even the weapons that you can like buy for all of your characters. If you lose a character that's holding a specific weapon, that weapon's gone. So you have to buy
That
it again from
sucks.
the shop. Um,
That's rough.
but yeah, that's been pretty fun.
That's pretty
Um,
cool.
but
Maybe
yeah,
I was looking at it just now. It looks like it's $30, so maybe I'll wait for a sale or something.
yeah. I saw fucking. That's another game that I'm just thinking now. Mass Effect is on sale again, and it's like,
Really?
yeah,
Again?
I was,
Okay,
yeah, I was
I'm gonna take a
equally
look now.
surprised. It's back to $40 instead of 60. Um,
40. I need it to be lower. I bought all the games and they probably cost me like 40 total
I
already.
I am such a slut for Mass Effect. I might just buy it at 40. But the problem is that I need to have like an idea in my mind of when I'm actually gonna play them
Because
because
now you've got the whole collection and all the extra content, except for that one that they couldn't find the code for.
oh really? Which one did they not find the
There
code
was there's
for?
the Pinnacle Station from the first one, which was
Oh,
I played it. I didn't really like it. It was just like arena combat and like not in a particularly fun way.
okay. So really not losing much by.
No,
Okay,
no,
that's fine.
no extra story dialogue or anything really.
Yeah, but they had the. There was that one DLC in Mass Effect One that was like Event Horizon or whatever. That was like somewhat
I
significant
think
to
they do
a
have
plot
that.
thing, right?
I haven't
Um,
played it, but I think they do have that in it.
yeah, but it's just like a thing of like, do I have time to do that between the games I'm already playing and work and stuff? Because obviously Mass Effect is a big commitment, and I will be going ham on it. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah,
absolutely.
we'll see. In terms of games coming out in the future, though, I wanted to talk to you. Did you see the Sony press conference yesterday?
I didn't, but I saw it afterwards, and I have some things I want to talk about too.
Yeah, I bet you do. I
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man is there.
Spider-Man.
That's probably the biggest news for me, I think.
I know, I have to get
Spider-Man
a
2.
PS5 now.
Yeah,
I don't know
that's
how Insomniac's doing it. They just did Ratchet and Clank
uh
earlier this year. Now they have Wolverine, and they're doing Spider-Man again. I don't know
I
how they're
uh,
doing it.
I really hope the crunch is not too bad there because like I don't
But they
know.
said Ratchet and Clank had no crunch on it.
Yeah,
They
but
came out and said
they
it.
also said that. So like who's watching the Watchmen, right?
Yeah, that's
So I
fair.
guess unless devs are coming out and supporting it, which maybe they have. I haven't looked at Twitter recently, but like yeah, I don't know. Hopefully everything's fine there because they do make some fucking banger games.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
nonstop.
They've literally been on such a roll like these past like 3 years or whatever.
I've been
It's
playing their
wild.
games since Ratchet and Clank 2.
Oh wow.
It's been a
Yeah.
long time.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really been on the PlayStation train until I guess. I mean, I really haven't
4,
been. Yeah,
4
until
was the big
four,
one. Yeah.
and then like just didn't play that many PlayStation games except for Kingdom Hearts. So I never really got into like Ratchet and Clank or Jax and Daxter, but they're bringing them back in a fucking
Yeah.
massive way. So kudos
Yeah.
to them.
Is
Um,
Jack and Daxter coming back? Is that something I missed?
no, I don't think
No, I
so.
don't think
But
so. I
that
think
was just
I
another
think they're done.
PlayStation game.
Yeah.
But yeah, like fucking Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine. Fucking what?
I don't know.
Oh my god. It's too
I
much.
haven't seen the Wolverine trailer. I saw that it happened. I'm gonna take a look later, probably after work.
Yeah.
I also saw God of War, and they said
Ragnarok.
it's not gonna be called Ragnarok, and it's called Ragnarok.
Yeah, well, some people were calling it ahead and they needed to throw them off for a little bit. But
Maybe they were
yeah.
like, we're gonna call it God of War End of Days, and then someone was like, you should call it God of War Ragnarok. And they were like, we're not gonna call it that, and then like we should call it that. That's a better name than what we came up with.
Yeah. Fucking. Yeah. I need to finish God of War. Like I need to do
You
that.
haven't finished it?
No, I started it a while back, and then I think I think I was playing it on somebody else's console, so I need to start
Do
over.
you? I'll let you borrow mine. I've
Oh,
got God
I
of
have a
War.
copy. I have a copy.
Okay.
It's just that I was playing it on. I think back in the apartment I was living in back in Rochester, I had my PS4 in my room, and then a roommate had their PS4 in the living room, and I was playing it on the
Aha, you're
living
playing
room
on the living
PS4,
room one.
and then
Yep.
we couldn't get it so that we couldn't transfer the save from that PS4 in the living
You
room.
should be able to.
I
You
know we
just put stick in
tried.
USB in. Yeah.
Yeah, but there was there's like because it was on my account. Like I did have my account on there, so there should have been a way to upload the save data, but it just wasn't working for whatever reason.
That's
So I'm just gonna have
strange.
to. I didn't make like an incredible amount of progress. I made it to the point where, uh, you get like that world map thing, but I don't think you're really able to go much of anywhere yet. So
No,
like
you're still at the beginning, kind of.
yeah, so like I didn't
I
make
think.
it that far. So I'll just get back there again, and then I'll need to fucking steamroll that game. I was playing it on
It's
like
very good.
I was playing it on like hard, so that was taking
I
me a
did that
while.
too, and the first boss was a complete pain in the ass.
Yeah, I don't
I've
think I'm
never
gonna do
played God of
that
War. I
again.
did beat it on hard. He's the hardest guy for sure. That
Really, the
first
first
that
guy?
yeah, the big like where they're flying up in the air punching each other. He's the hardest guy, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I was having fucking trouble with all the fucking like green men like in the very early on areas. It was not great.
The zombie dudes,
I
or
don't
is
know.
that someone else?
Yeah, maybe. It's been a while, so I don't
It's been a
really.
long time.
Yeah, but I really want to play it because obviously it's been fucking lauded as one of the best stories in
Yeah,
a long time.
it is.
So,
It's up there.
um,
I saw you were looking for Miles Morales as well. I have that. Played through it. One of my other friends wants to borrow it, but once you're through all your stuff, let me know. You can borrow it for sure.
yeah,
I'll mail it to you.
whenever it's free, I definitely be down. Like I'll if it is available, like I will take it and definitely prioritize binging that because now I have a reason to. Like it's two is
Right, but you
announced.
got till 2023.
Exactly. That's why I'm kind of like, oh, thank God, I have a little bit of time.
Right.
Till that comes around. So I have some time to work on Miles Morales. Did you like the story from that game? Was it good?
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was enjoyable.
Wait.
They do it. They I wouldn't say they do it again, but they succeed in the same way they succeeded in the first one. It's a
Okay.
little shorter.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, actually, pretty noticeably shorter compared to
Hmm.
the first one.
Yeah.
But it doesn't overstay its welcome, and it's kind of like the same New York that you were already in.
Right. Yeah. It's the same map, but they're just
Yeah.
doing a new story in it, and it's like Christmas time or whatever, right?
Yeah. So it's snowy. They have snow. That's pretty cool.
Yep.
Probably cooler on PS5, but it was pretty good on PS4.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely am gonna. I really am gonna have to get a fucking PS4, man, or PS5. Like,
Yeah, me too.
I had
I
no.
know.
I was just like, I'm cool with my PC. All the cool games are coming out on PC,
Except for Spider-Man.
except for
He hasn't made the
Spider-Man.
jump.
Yep.
And Last of Us.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't read it.
And apparently also fucking Knights of the Old Republic getting a remake.
Yeah,
That
I
might
wonder
also
how they're gonna
be
do it.
PS5 exclusive. Maybe I don't think they
It's
really said.
probably. Ooh, I gotta get a PS5 for Demon Souls remake. I still haven't played that guy.
Yeah.
That's the only one I haven't done.
Kyle cast shame on you for missing out on Demon Souls remake.
Yeah, so I gotta play it so he won't berate me too harshly.
um, yeah, dude, like, I don't know, fucking.
Have you played Knights of the Old Republic?
No, I never got
I
around to
haven't
it,
either.
and
And
that's
I
the
think
like it's another Bioware game, so I probably love it.
it's what I've heard is it's super good, but it seems like it has like turn-based combat because it
Hmm.
was like one of the older stuff. I don't know. I'm kind of as I've gotten older, turn-based combat isn't as appealing to me.
But you
I just
played
want to punch
Persona.
things. That was the exception. Persona was
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I honestly, I'm kind of just like interested in the way Final Fantasy does the turn-based combat, just because it has the attack, the APM system, where it's like you do have to at least kind of act fast so that you don't let
Right.
your opponent's gauge fill up like multiple times while you're trying to figure out your turn.
And
Um,
the new games have, they have a mix of the active combat and the meter.
mhm.
So that's pretty neat. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, yeah. How they're doing it in like the Final Fantasy VII remake seems neat. So
Pretty solid. I liked it.
I'm kind of
Um,
surprised on the Final Fantasy front that we didn't see Final Fantasy 16. Like we got a teaser for
is
that.
that something that's happening?
Yeah, I think we got a teaser for it in 2020. Like
Wait a
it's
minute. Is Final Fantasy 16 the one with the guy who kept talking about chaos, or was that something different?
oh, it's been a while. I'm not
Oh,
sure. I'll
who's
drop
the chaos guy?
I'll drop a link to it because it's definitely on YouTube. But
Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin. Okay, I don't think that's 16. I think that's something different.
yeah, I don't know. But here I'll drop this thing. It was yeah, 11 months ago. So last year.
Wow.
Copy.
Haven't followed that.
Um, but I mean, I guess they're not really in any monetary rush because fucking Final Fantasy 14 Online is blowing the fuck up right now.
And they're reselling 7 on the PS5 with the extra content and stuff.
Right? Yeah. But yeah, it's especially it has been amazing how like it's sort of been building up to this for a while with people getting tired of WoW, and then with all of the situations occurring at Activision Blizzard, people are now
Jesse McCree.
more ready than ever to jump ship from World of Warcraft over to a new MMO, and it seems like Final
They've kind
Fantasy
of had,
14 is the landing point. So
yeah. I think they've had a player bleed for a while though. With
yeah,
a lot of
it's
people
been
didn't like the new
happening,
stuff.
but it's just been exacerbated by the issues that have been brought to light recently.
I'm skimming this trailer here for 16, and it kind of just looks like a Dark Souls game. Like if I didn't know what I was
I
looking
think
at
that's
with
what a
some of
lot
these
of people thought
monsters.
it was at first. But yeah, I mean, it's in development. I think I did see the developer saying at some point that they were like, we'll just hold back on trailers until it's like almost ready to be released, which I'm, good for
Yeah,
them.
understandable.
That sounds great. I think there was also a trailer for a one last trailer for Deathloop, that game that's been
I've heard
marketed
about it.
around
I
for.
don't have any idea what it is.
It is a. It's actually kind of, now that I think about it, kind of similar to The Hunt, where you're playing as either this guy that is trying to assassinate a bunch of VIPs in this like weird. I don't want to say Bioshock-esque. Maybe like, remember when We Happy Few was first being advertised, and like we
Hmm.
thought it was one thing and then it turned out to be another thing? It kind of looks
Yeah.
like what we thought We Happy Few was gonna be, kind of, at least with like the character designs with these like overly opulent and like super happy wackos or whatever. Basically, you're just running through and trying to assassinate these people while another player-controlled character is trying to assassinate you.
That's kind of cool.
And you have like Bioshock-esque abilities that you can use in the trial. So that's been, I think it got like delayed significantly because of the pandemic. So we've been seeing trailers for that since like 2018, I think. But it's finally coming out in like a couple days. I think the 14th was the official release date for that.
That's pretty soon.
So
That's coming up.
yeah, I don't know if it's on. I think it's on PC, but I will double check
I
myself
don't
real
know.
quick.
Seems neat. Is it it's gonna be $60 or what's it gonna be?
Yeah, I would assume so.
Okay. Maybe wait for a sale for me then.
But
$60 is a lot. I did spend $60 on Psychonauts 2.
well, hey man, if you're gonna get a PS5, get ready to start paying for $70 for
70.
Spider-Man 2.
Ah,
That's the
you're right. I didn't even consider that.
yeah, that's what.
Getting to
That's
the point
what's
where a
happening.
game costs like $100.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, games have been pretty fucking stagnant for the last 20 years, so it's kind of impressive that they've been 60 for this long. Okay, yeah, no, it's on PS5 and PC, so it is available on PC. But, yeah, I don't know, man. The exclusives for PC on PS5 are really gonna get me.
They're doing a good job. Xbox, their exclusives have been I think
Well,
their strategy is they're kind of putting it on Windows too
right.
with
Yeah,
Infinite.
they just don't really want to fight anymore. They're just like, hey, if you want something that's cheaper than a high-end PC, here's your Series X. If you have a
Right.
high-end PC, just take the games.
Play Halo Infinite on the computer. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play Halo Infinite on the computer.
Exactly.
Psychonauts is now owned by Microsoft. That's a
Yeah.
new thing.
But,
And I
like,
do want to talk about the game for a second. I just finished it. It was great. Very charming. It's a very different experience from all the shooter games that, we
yeah,
had been playing in our youth.
that's another game where I feel like I really, because Psychonauts 1 is also on Games Pass, right?
They're both on there from what I understand.
Yeah, so like I really want to play Psychonauts 1, but I just need to fucking find the time for it. And then
Well, man, if you want to, I guess you already have Game Pass, but if you ever want to use my Steam account to play it, I have both of them.
all right, I'll keep that in mind. Yeah, I do have Game Pass, so it's right there. It's literally right there. I just
It is right there.
need to get around to playing it. How long is Psychonauts 1?
Psychonauts 1, the story's probably only about like 12 hours if you just go from mission to mission, but if you do like little side things like collect the collectibles, it'll probably take you like 20 hours.
Okay. That's still not that bad though.
It took me 35 hours, and my game time is generally a little bloated because I often just leave my computer on with it running, and the game time just racks up.
Gotcha. Yeah. But yeah, I'm glad you liked it. It was like lived up
Yeah.
to the hype and all that.
Definitely. And I just found out about this game like 3 months ago. I bought the first one, and then I loved it, and I was like, I'm gonna buy the second one right when it comes out, and I did, and it lived up to it. I didn't have to wait 15 years. I waited 3, but
Yeah,
still
yeah.
satisfied me.
Yeah, there is a on the Funhouse crew, this like Rooster Teeth group or whatever. James Willems was like a huge fan of Psychonauts 1, so he
Yeah.
for like I caught on just by way of him talking about it like nonstop, and apparently he got a voice acting role as a talking toilet in Psychonauts 2 somewhere.
I
in
have
the
not
game.
found the talking toilet. I
Yeah.
never found. Oh, maybe I did.
Maybe.
I think I might have found that.
I
That's
don't
pretty
know.
neat. I didn't know that.
But yeah, he was pretty hyped for that, and pretty just hyped for the second game in general. So
It was great. I would recommend it. I was so excited for it. I made a cover song from one of the first games.
Mhm.
It was like the song is 6 minutes and 30 seconds long, so I learned the whole thing myself because no one's ever
Damn.
covered it before.
Mhm.
And I put it on and I tweeted it at the developer.
Nice.
I
Any
don't, I
response?
don't, I didn't hear back, but maybe one day.
You'll get your response one day. Yeah, and what I've heard, which is like, which what I think is probably most intriguing to me, is like it's got some fucking world class level design, at least for the second game.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah. Even in the first one, there's some really unique levels.
mm,
I'm not going to spoil it. There's this very nice. There's this what's widely regarded as the best level in the first game.
mm,
Plays a lot with gravity. So you're
ooh,
walking on these streets, and the streets are like turning you like this, but you're still just walking normally. And then
nice.
you have to like jump like in midair to land on this other street, but there's a street below you. It's
Oh,
very cool. Very
damn.
cool.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So stuff like because it's all related to like mind bending and
So
stuff
if
like
you like
that.
level design, I would take a look at this game. Both
Yeah.
of them really, because they do some really interesting things.
Yeah, I'll have to give it a go. Maybe I will start downloading it after the session ends. So because once it's
If
in
I
my
convince you,
library,
I'll feel pretty happy
yeah,
about that.
once it's in my library, I'm much more likely to actually start playing. It's just like
Right.
committing to the download that's like the first step. So yeah.
So that's been occupying all my time since it came out on the 25th. Any game time I had was kind of devoted to that. I started an XCOM game with a friend of mine that we've played a little bit,
Hmm.
and played a little bit of Dead Cells, if you've ever heard of that.
I have. I think I heard other friends of mine talking about it. What is that game?
So the way I've heard it described is it's a 2D Souls-like, but it's also a roguelike. So every time you die, you lose all your stuff. You start from the beginning.
Okay.
Same way that Hades works, same way Enter the Gungeon works.
Yeah.
And you get new weapons that you can find on the route to get farther and farther.
Okay. Gotcha. So
Mhm.
you get improve a little bit each time, like much like
Right,
Hades.
right.
Um,
Same idea.
yeah. Well, that sounds cool. I mean, I fuck with Hades, so maybe that'd be up my alley.
Yeah.
Although I kind of want to, because apparently there is like an ending to Hades. Like you still play the game afterwards, but like I think you have to beat Hades 10 times.
Yeah, I beat him like four, and then I moved on to other things.
Yeah, I've been on and off touch that. That's something I forgot. I have been touching that again more recently, so that's also up there.
It's a
Um,
good game.
it
I mean,
is.
the
It's
colors
fucking
they use
amazing.
are so cool
Yeah,
in the sprite in the arts for the character.
yeah. It has been really fun. Like like they are so unique in their art stylings or whatever that I've seen people taking characters from other pieces of media like uh
And putting in that
and
style.
putting them in that style, so they're like imposing you like a fake UI for these original characters or these characters from other media, like dropping them into Hades with like a little boon icon and then their character sprite and then like the text box with some dialogue from them. It's really cute. But
It
yeah,
is. They did a really unique thing with that.
yeah, it's just evidence of the fact that he did a really fucking primo job with the Hades characters.
For
Um,
sure, man.
yeah, they're all fucking hot, all of them.
Yeah.
um, but yeah,
Greek
so
mythology.
what else? Oh, some friends of mine have been getting back into fucking chess. With chess.com.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I've been painfully reminded how bad I am at chess over the
You gotta
over
just
the
if you
past
wanna
week or
you wanna
so.
learn, you just play the level 3 AI on
On
chess.com for like
Okay.
hours during work. My friends and I got really into it during the beginning of quarantine last year. We were all playing chess, and I
Hmm.
did a couple chess YouTube videos back in the day.
Nice.
And yeah, you pick it up if you play it a lot, you pick it up quick.
Yeah,
You
I'm
learn
sure
what
you'll
works.
like. It's just like, I think for me the problem. I mean, and that's the ultimate problem with any chess player that you have to overcome is like figuring out all of the permutations of like what the effects of your
Yeah,
actions could be, and
exactly.
seeing down the line. So it's like
And then
you
some
really.
people can just be like, I saw a joke on Twitter where someone was like, chess scares me because like no matter how good you think you are, you play somebody and they're like, I see you've learned the Belgian somersault maneuver, and
Yeah.
I will counter it with the French cum sock were the words that this guy used.
The
And it's
French
like,
Cossack.
if you don't know the plays, you can make what you think is the best move, but chess has been kind of figured out. I guess
Yeah, yeah. I mean like it can't. It's not a solved game though, right?
right, it's not
It's not like
solved, but a lot of stuff in there is if there's a good enough player, they know what you're doing and they know how to. They're like in 37 moves, I'll have defeated you.
right. Yeah, and that shit. I don't think I'll ever. Hey, we're going back to
No,
the overly competitive aspect, but just for chess, where it's
exactly.
just like you have to devote so much time to becoming a chess god, and I
Just
don't think I'll
not
be
for
doing
me.
that. But maybe if I can eventually work myself to being able to hold my own against some friends of mine instead of throwing away my queen like 5 turns in or whatever.
5 turns in. Yep. You
Uh,
see, the only time I find that throwing away your queen is worth it, and I always try to do this, is if the other person exposes their queen to take one of my pieces, I just trade the queens. Like
yeah, trading
immediately,
trading
without a
queens
doubt.
can like at least be it's neutral. I think
Right. I don't
most of
need
the
the
time is
queen, but
yeah
as long as they don't have the queen, because that's usually the most powerful piece
right.
in when I'm in my opponent's arsenal, so I'm just like, get out of here.
I
I found a
I did a
Kickstarter. Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
sorry, I was just gonna say like the move I did yesterday was very dumb in that I fucking I made I on one turn I was gonna move a piece and then I realized that would expose my queen, so I was like, oh no, I can't do that. Next turn, completely forgot, move the
Did it
piece,
again. Yeah.
and then I immediately lost the queen. I was like, oh yeah, that was literally what I was just looking at, and then
I was
I
just thinking it
fucking
would be
lost it.
stupid to do that. I've
Yeah.
had times where I do that. I look through that. I look at that move. I'm like, that's stupid. And then I go and look at another move. I look at another move. I come back to the first move again because I forgot I looked at it. I'm like, oh, this makes sense. And then I do it and realize why I didn't do it in the first place. But
Mm-hmm.
it's too late then.
Yeah, it's like keeping that all that shit in short term memory. Like you're processing so much, you lose a lot of it.
Yeah.
Um, but what is
Chess
this
is tough.
Kickstarter here?
So I have been very into designer board games
Ooh.
since probably senior year of college. One of my
Okay.
friends was introducing us to a bunch of games. My first introduction to Betrayal, Sheriff of Nottingham, Catan. I hadn't seen that before.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Splendor, Ticket to Ride, all these guys. So I found this one on my own. This is a Kickstarter for a thing called Color Chess, and it kind of functions the same way as chess,
Okay.
except all of your pieces can move 3 spaces, and they can move onto the tiles that match the colors on the token.
Okay. So
And the
red.
goal
So
is
so
just to get,
oh,
yeah,
and some
hmm
pieces only have 2 colors, but some have three.
right. So if you have 2 colors, you can move on to 2 of that one color's space, and then 1 of the other one in a turn. So there's one on the front page
Oh.
that's like 2 red, 1 blue. It can go 2 red spaces and then 1 blue space in any order.
And the
You can
board,
do red,
I'm
blue, red.
watching the setup of Iro video, and it has a customizable board as well.
Yes, yeah.
Oh my
So each time you
god!
play, it's a different board. And the way you
Wow.
win is you get 1 piece into the back row of your opponent's pieces.
Yeah,
So
which is funny because that's like always like a side objective in like checkers and
in
chess.
regular,
It's just
yeah,
like
get in the
that's like
back to
something
take all
that
their pieces.
right. But this is like that's literally just it. That's all you need to do.
Yes. So I thought this was pretty neat because, Anna, my girlfriend, is very good at chess, and a bunch of my friends are very good at chess, and I am not on their level. So I
Yeah.
said, you know what? I'm going to find a game of chess that you can't beat me at because you don't know how it works.
Uh huh.
So I backed this, and I'm very excited about it.
Oh man. Yeah, that is fucking. This looks dope as hell. I might fucking.
Yeah,
Yeah, I might
I
back
thought so
this
too.
and see if I can pick it up when it comes out. I would love
So
to play this.
I've been telling it to a couple people, but this is kind of like my little treasure that I found in Kickstarter, and I'm gonna be, the one guy in my friend group who has color chess, Eero.
And
So
it's
that'll be
nice
fun.
because it's not a hard to explain game. Like you just explained it
No,
to
it's
me
pretty
and that
simple.
makes sense. Um,
And also back to Avatar Legends.
what?
I don't know. Have you heard about Avatar Legends?
No. What the
Nick, you
fuck
ever
is
you ever
that?
played any tabletop games like Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah.
Well, a company, I think they're called Magpie Games, they got the rights to make an Avatar
Oh.
role-playing game.
Yes. Okay. I thought you meant the blue people, and I was like,
No, no, no,
what?
no. I mean the Avatar, Aang,
Yeah. I
Korra.
think I
And I
did
was like, this looks
see.
pretty dope.
I did see the Kickstarter trailer for that. It kind of
hmm
sucks that they need to do a Kickstarter. Like, could Disney not, or could Nickelodeon not just like kick them some money to
I don't know.
like
Nickelodeon's
fund
always
the
been weird about
project?
the series, haven't they?
Yeah, but like now, well, see, They have been, and that's the weird thing. It's like now they've got a whole ass studio that's being headed by Mike and Brian to do more Avatar related
And I think
things.
Nickelodeon is involved in that.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
pretty
they
sure.
are. They helped like set up that studio and stuff. But this game, I think it's because it's like outside their wheelhouse of television. Like it's not. They don't do tabletop games. But I mean, they fucking. I mean, maybe they just. I don't know. They've got the Nickelodeon fighting game that's coming out that looks
They
fucking
do.
amazing.
The thing that I don't like about that one, and this is, I don't know, this might be a minority opinion.
Okay.
They don't have voice effects or sound effects. None of the characters make any noise.
Maybe that's just like not in yet. I don't
No,
know.
I looked this up, and apparently Nickelodeon games typically, if you have like the group games, like the kart racing and stuff, they don't do voicing for the characters because it costs too much money to
Oh.
license out to get all the
Oh.
original actors to come again and do all the voicing for the
Come
games.
on.
So there's not
Really?
going to be any, no voicing, just like generic like sound effects when you hit someone.
Oh,
No
that is
voice
kind of a
clips.
bummer. I don't
So
know.
that really
The
pushed me away from it. I
the
don't know.
gameplay though, like they just put out a gameplay video earlier this week and it does look pretty fucking hype. Like it's the same people who made Slap City, if you know that
Yeah,
game.
yeah, I do know
So
that one.
it's very mobile and they've got like oh, what is it? They've got like basically you can do smash attacks in the air. Like they have weak and strong attacks in
Ooh,
both like
what?
on the ground and in the air. Which seems pretty cool, and in all directions. It's not just like one strong attack in the air.
Right.
So you got like a down strong aerial, down forward strong aerial, and all that shit. And there's also
Ooh.
a dedicated strafing button where if you hold it, I think by default you are automatically facing the direction that your character is moving in. But if you hold down, I think they said the left trigger, you can then continue facing whatever direction you were facing while like falling backwards or whatever. So you can do some weird shit with
That's
that.
pretty cool.
It seems like
That's a neat idea.
there's just like enough things to really differentiate it from Smash, and then also create some really interesting technical scenarios for like high
Yeah.
level play.
I'm interested to see how this ends up coming out in the end.
I
Like what the
think
reviews are.
I think there's gonna be a decent number of like high profile Smash people that are probably getting kind of sick of Smash's bullshit at this point,
I would not be
especially
surprised.
with the online issues that have been plaguing the game since ever because it's Nintendo. Um, I think there's gonna be a good number of people that are gonna give this an actual serious try.
I think so too.
And we'll see how that turns
I
out.
think we could see it at some tournaments, but I don't know. I don't see it overtaking Smash Brothers.
Probably not. No, I don't think it's gonna overtake Smash. But I do hope that it gets the love it deserves because it does look like it's extremely well made. Like
Right, the technical stuff looks pretty good. Bring them on for the next Smash game
Yeah,
with
I
their
mean,
ideas.
if you need to fucking give Sakurai a break, which he definitely needs, please, dear God, let the man's retire at this point. Honestly,
He always says
every
that
Smash game is his last Smash
he's
game.
gonna retire, but he also says like if he wanted to stop working on it, I'm sure they would let him, but he keeps coming back to it.
Yeah, well, because he thinks like he feels like he has to. It is his baby. So like I understand that, but I think personally that he probably just sees it like I wish you guys would stop making these games so I would stop feeling obliged to come and direct them because I can't let you just let somebody else direct them. But
Right.
if you keep making them, I'm gonna have to come back. But
All right, so
I don't know.
here's my crazy prediction. Mr. Krabs is now is Mr. Krabs in it? Do we have a confirmation?
We don't
on
have
that?
confirmation that Mr. Krabs.
Squidward is in it, right?
Squidward, I believe, yes, has been
All
confirmed.
right, so Squidward is now in a video game. Final Smash DLC character.
Oh, shut up. No, no, we're not
Squidward.
doing this. That's not how it works. All right, fucking. I don't know who the last Smash character is gonna be, but it's not gonna be fucking Squidward. All right.
I don't know. Waluigi. Or Waluigi's gonna show up in Nick Fighters.
God, that would be pretty fucking incredible. Now that one I would love a lot. No, who do you think you're gonna main in Nickelodeon Fighters based on who you've seen so
Oh
far?
man, I haven't even really looked at it because kind of as soon as I found out about the lack of sound effects, I
Hmm.
was like, well, this is just kind of I don't know. That doesn't seem as fun. I guess the sound effects aren't really a huge part of it, but it just
Yeah.
kind of seems a little lifeless.
I I think you know what I think is gonna happen because this game is it coming out on PC? Uh,
I don't know.
if it is coming
I
out
don't
on
know.
PC, you know what you can guarantee is gonna happen?
There's gonna be mods.
Somebody's gonna mod in the sound effects, and you're gonna be fine on
Let me
that
take a look
front.
at where it's coming out.
But yeah, so like, I think it's not like they haven't officially announced them, but the
It's
box
on PC
the box art for the game has leaked, and or like a version of the box art with all the characters in
with all the
silhouette
silhouettes,
has
right?
leaked,
Yeah,
and both Aang and Korra are in it. So that's gonna be a real
yeah,
tough
I've seen
choice for
that.
me. I don't know if I'm gonna main Aang or I'm gonna main Korra, but one of them for sure. I gotta simp for Avatar.
That's why I was wondering if you backed that Kickstarter because I know you're a huge fan of that stuff.
No, I have not done that yet, but I do hope that it goes through. I would love to play an Avatar based role-playing game.
It did beat its goal. It got nearly $10 million when it needed, I think, like
God
60,000.
damn! God fucking damn! Hell yeah!
Yeah, if you want to do a late pledge, I think they're still open for it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
late pledge.
$50,000 goal. They got 9,500,000.
Holy shit! How much did the
Yeah,
fucking Critical Role Kickstarter get? I
I don't
think
know. I'll take a
I
look for
think at
you.
the time they were the biggest Kickstarter thing ever, but I maybe that RPG surpassed it.
Was this the no, was
It's
this the animated one?
it was the animated series.
It got 11,300,000.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Holy shit. Fucking Critical Role fans really just popped off on that one.
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ. That yeah, that's kind of
Ashley
insane.
Johnson,
Yeah. I mean, it's just
Last of Us.
the whole fucking voice actor cast. You
Yeah,
got
Laura Bailey.
yep, Laura Bailey, Travis Willingham,
Isn't Matt
Ashley.
Mercer in this?
Matt
Am I
Mercer
making that up?
is the DM. He is gonna be playing characters in the show, but he's not playing all of them. I don't think he's not he
Okay.
because in the obviously in the game he was the dungeon master, so he's playing all the NPCs. But I think they have
Right.
hired other voice actors to
Actual,
do
you're
some
right.
of yeah to do some of the other NPCs. So I've been like. I think I'm probably gonna to listen to some more of it on the way home. Like I followed campaign 2 from beginning to end, when like from when it started to when it ended, which is crazy that was fucking like 3+ years of like tabletop live play or whatever. Like
Yeah.
that's insane that I've been following for that long. But that just finished up, so I've been trying to catch up on the campaign 1 stuff, and I'm like more than halfway through. I'm on like episode 60 something out of 115.
You
But
got a ways to go still.
yeah, each of them is 4 hours, so it's gonna be a bit.
Yeah.
But
It's
yeah,
a large number of hours there.
I think they're pretty neat. So I hope whatever they do next, it works out. I think they did a one shot this week in like some kind of sci-fi setting. So
Yeah, I just looked at the Kickstarter and there was an update on September 2nd. That's why Ashley Johnson's name came up. She was behind the game master screen for the space one shot.
yep, yep. Uh, yeah, they. I mean, like, I think basically them getting this much fucking money for the Kickstarter basically then allowed them to go to actual like production studios and be like, "Hi, can you
Please
sign
make
us
this.
onto your platform?" And then they got onto Amazon Prime Video, I think. So
That's pretty cool.
So now
pretty
that's
cool.
yeah, I think they're pretty much like if this season goes well, which I think it probably will. They seem to be doing they've been like updating periodically on like their YouTube channel with like different aspects of the production. It looks like it's going pretty damn well. So if the first season goes well, then I think they're probably locked in for however long the campaign takes to animate. So that'll be pretty damn
It's gonna
cool
be a
to
while.
see it animated.
Animation takes forever, man.
Yeah, but
It's
at least,
forever.
I mean, the content of the episodes will probably be condensing, 4 hours into not 4 hours.
Right.
So it'll be a
30
lot
minutes
more.
or an hour,
It'll be
really.
not a much more digestible way to consume that content, which I think will be really
That
cool.
would be pretty cool. I think when that happens, I'll give it a watch. I've never really I never got into podcasts. I don't
Hmm.
know. I always just consumed games,
Yeah.
sometimes pretty like movies that were coming out, and I read books sometimes.
Yep.
But I think that would be a way to do it. Watch that as a TV show.
Yeah. Fucking speaking of books, we're almost done here, but I did want to throw in because I don't think I've actually mentioned it on the podcast yet. I have started reading books for the first time in probably years. Uh,
How many years?
the last book I remember interacting with, and I say interacting with because
Interacting with.
I'm pretty sure I just listened to it as an audiobook, was The Martian. And I think that was around 2014 that I listened to that audiobook.
Oh, that's not possible. You were listening to some audiobooks when we were in college, I'm pretty sure.
What audiobook would I be listening to? Like,
I don't
okay,
know.
outside of
It
books
might have
for.
been Yash who was listening to one in his car on the radio because somebody was doing a podcast on the or an audiobook on the radio, and I think he
Yeah.
said he had tuned in for that.
Was he listening to Night Vale? Was that what he was
I
listening
don't
to?
know. I don't know. It was something. I don't remember. It's been literally years since
Okay.
that.
Yeah, but I don't think I've really done any serious reading of any like fiction stuff, outside of classes or whatever. So I just some friends of mine, they have been talking about this fucking Mistborn series for a while. It's like a fantasy
What?
book
I
series.
Mistborn. Yeah.
And they love it, so they've been egging anybody who will listen to pick up the series and start reading it for a while. And then there was some 50% off like book sale going on at Barnes and Noble, and they put out a ping for
Ooh.
that, and I was just like, you know what, fuck it, I'm out. Barnes and Noble is like right there. I'm just gonna hit it up and pick up some books. Unfortunately, most of the books I picked up were not on.
Of course.
They weren't on
Of
sale.
course they weren't.
I specifically went out of my way to get one book that was on sale, but
Just so you could say you took advantage
I
of the
took it.
sale.
Yeah, I did take advantage
That's
of
how
the
they
sale in
get you,
some
Nick.
fashion.
Sales are just to make you buy things that you didn't realize or you weren't going to get before.
Yeah,
So
but
instead of saving money or spending money you wouldn't have spent.
yeah, but I've got a job. It's fine.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I got a bunch of books. I got Mistborn. I got the YouTube critic. I want to stay nostalgia chick. She's not the nostalgia chick anymore. Lindsay Ellis. Do you know that name?
Yeah, I've heard the name.
So she wrote a book. So and it's like a some kind of young adult fiction thing called Axiom's End.
I have heard of that actually.
Really? Have you heard any?
I
What
think
have you heard
so.
about it?
I don't know why I've heard of it, but the name sounds familiar.
Yeah, but so I saw that. I was like, oh shit, I like her YouTube stuff, and she's been advertising this book on her channel for a while. So I'll give it a try. So I picked that up, and then I picked up a you remember Beekman, right? Dutch Elvis. Yeah. So
Yeah.
he recommended a nonfiction book about the fucking deteriorating situation in Afghanistan over the past 10 years. So I was like, you know what?
That book's gonna need an update.
Yeah, well, I mean, it came out. I think it came out this year, so it is like pretty up to date in that regard.
Okay.
Because I think we were like by 2020, end of 2020.
It was getting pretty
pulling
clear
out.
about what was going to happen.
Yeah, but it was just a matter of
Did
time.
you? This is related to that. Did you see there was a news release? I think last week or the week before that said the Taliban they felt betrayed and angered that the U.S. had not left them working helicopters.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Taliban. Ooh, sorry, we have no helicopters for you. Gonna have to buy them from the Russians.
Here it is. I'll just send you the
we'll
Google
make it
search
up.
and you can see it for yourself.
Um,
All the articles that come up.
Sure, yeah.
There you go.
But sorry, at the end of that list is Dune, which is the first book I actually started reading.
That's another one I've been hearing a lot about.
Right, because they've got the movie coming out soon, or I don't know how soon, but it is coming out, and
Eventually.
I was like, yeah, and everybody, I feel like I didn't hear a thing about Dune until they started talking about this movie, but then now everybody's crawling out of the woodworks and being like,
And saying like, oh, I've always loved Dune.
this is like one of the most influential pieces of sci-fi literature that exists, and it's just like, oh, okay. And I am starting to see it. It's definitely like a good piece of science fiction. But yeah, I've been reading that. But like, I when I first started reading it, it was like I had to like force myself, to sit down and like commit to that because I think like in my mind it's just like I always want to multitask and like be doing multiple things at once. So like really just sitting down
Yeah,
and
I know what
focusing
you
on a
mean.
book, I think that's part of the reason why I just haven't been reading in so long. It's just like it feels like just so much to do that, but you gotta.
Back in
There's good shit
college,
in
the
there.
way I got around that was on my campus, we needed to use buses to transport around because the campus was so big. So
Hmm.
anytime I was on a bus, I just pulled out a book and read it on the bus.
Yeah, well, that's when you have the free time. That's good, but like I didn't really have much of that in college. So
on the
okay.
Right, you
dangers
didn't have a
facing
bus where you could
Americans
have
and
done
our
that.
Yeah. Fucking first result was in fact Fox News, and I did not realize that before clicking on it. Oopsies.
That's okay. All the headlines say the
But
same thing.
they're all the same. It's the same report. That's really fucking funny. But yeah, Dune's good. Would recommend if you've got some time. And I guess like
Isn't it a series? It's long, right?
yeah, I think there are multiple books.
But
There's
just the
like
first one? Is that what
yeah,
you're looking
I
at?
got I didn't realize there were multiple books, but I was told after the fact. So after I finished reading this, maybe I'll pick up the other ones. I kind of
Um,
want to get through the other books I already bought first, but we'll see.
Let me see how many books are in this.
I think there's like 5 or 6, but it was also like it's also like a really old sci-fi series. So like it was like in the 1960s these books were coming out, which is crazy to think about, and also impressive that the and this, I think this is a thing that a lot of people praised it for was that like it sort of conveniently wrote things that might become like super outdated, like references to the ideas of future technology, such as like artificial intelligence and robots. They conveniently wrote that out of the story by being like, yeah, there were robots, but then we had to purge them all because they were like they had an uprising or whatever. And it was
Let me
like
get rid of them.
that was a very cheeky way for a writer in the 1960s to be like, I don't think that anything I could write about robots is going to be relevant in 10 years. So I'm just going to write that out
Get
of the
rid of
picture
them.
and
And
then
they're not here.
like work around it. Which is smart. Like that and it's
That is smart.
I
That's
think it
very
has
forward thinking.
been able to stand the test of time partially because of that convention of being like, yeah, there's future tech, but it's like sort of generic and also still comparable to like, average things, or like there are real world parallels that are not going to seem outdated in any point in time,
Right.
which is really impressive of them to pull that off because like there's like a whole aesthetic to like 80s sci-fi, like Alien, where you have all that
Yes,
tech
I know
with, like,
exactly
radios
what
and
you
stuff.
got. All the old looking technology.
Right, you got the CRT monitors that like on
with
like
the
giant
green
spaceships,
text.
which looks super cool and I think is a great aesthetic, but it is obviously a product of its time, and that's why it's considered retro sci-fi in a way.
It's like our new age sci-fi with all the clean, sleek interiors, like the Normandy and the
Right, yeah. Maybe in 20 years that'll be, or like,
right.
40 years or
That's
whatever,
probably
that'll
not going
be
to
a
be the
different
case.
aesthetic. Yeah. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, so pick up a book if you got the time, or an audiobook. Honestly, I could have cheaped out and just taken that route because that is a way to multitask things. Is if you just listen to an audiobook, you can do that while doing
Yeah, but then
something else.
you don't really process it if you're multitasking. Like I'm a big proponent of multitasking,
Hmm.
but I am 100%. I'm able to do more, but I'm not focusing on either thing as well as if
Right.
I was just doing one at a time.
Yeah, yeah.
And I've
So,
run into some instances where I'm talking to someone, I'm thinking about something, and I'm trying to write something else down, and I just like your brain when it reaches that capacity just stops, and then you can't do any of the things.
yeah, yeah. So, I mean, whatever worked for you. There's just good books out there in general.
Yeah.
Check them out, pick them up, give them a read, or
Cool. I
listen.
think I'll run by Barnes and Noble next time there's a board game sale, and I'll look around for some books while I'm in the area.
A board game sale?
So, like I was saying, I got big into board games,
Yeah.
and
Do
Barnes and
they?
Noble's got a lot of board games.
Oh, okay.
They have a pretty big collection. That's
Interesting.
I think that's where I got Ticket to Ride, or
Hell
maybe that
yeah.
was Target. I don't know, one of those
Nice.
places.
Hmm.
Never found Power Grid in the wild though.
No, you're probably not. gonna find Power Grid in the wild. I don't think that's one that's in super wide circulation. You're gonna probably need to go
No.
to a game store for that. If
I'm gonna
that.
have to.
I have never seen it in the wild myself. I definitely just got it off of Amazon. But
Yeah, Amazon's pretty good. They've got like a lot of things are $10-20 off right now.
yeah. And then Terraform. Oh man.
I do
I'm
have
kinda-
terraforming. I've never played it.
Okay. Yes. Please play Terraforming Mars, or we should play it together sometime. That game is also super complicated and also super fun, in my opinion.
And it doesn't take 4 hours. It takes 3 from what I've heard.
Yeah. Still pretty
So maybe
long.
that'll be the next one to do. Because I have it, and I got it at a holiday party a couple years ago
Oh,
from my
hell yeah.
workplace,
hmm
and it came with the expansion that offers you 2 new maps to play on instead of the
Nice.
original one.
Nice. The I don't know. I personally, man, I think Power Grid on average should take less time than a game of Terraforming Mars. It's just that explaining
What?
No, but it's just that explaining the rules to new players for Power Grid takes a while. So
No, that's impossible because we played it a second time because we didn't finish it the first time. Because we played 4.5 hours and didn't finish it, and then we played it the second time and we all knew the rules, and it took us 5 hours to finish it.
But we had to re-explain the rules to ourselves because it had been like a year, and that had been
No, it hadn't. It was the same summer.
No.
Yeah, it was.
I don't
And then we
believe
agreed to
you.
never play it again.
No.
You ask anybody. Ask the others.
All right. Well.
We played Power Grid 2 times the same summer.
All right. Well, I still love Power Grid, and I think we should give it another shot someday.
I'm down, man. I still have my #1 Power Grid player trophy that I'll pass along to the winner.
All right. Well, I
don't
will
have the
let you. You should make one. You gotta.
I really considered it. I was looking into it because I was like, if we do Power Grid 1 time a year, we can pass around this dumb little like cup that says #1 Power Grid player.
Oh, that'd be so good.
But then we didn't play it again the year after that or the year after that, and I said, well, if I make this, I'm never gonna get rid of it.
Then you'll just be the Power Grid champion for all time.
Forever. Yeah. What a commendation.
But anyways, all right. I will let you get back to your work. Thank you for stopping by and having.
Sure, man. Thanks for having me. This is fun.
Yeah, this is a lovely little
A
chat.
one-on-one exclusive interview.
Yeah, oh man, I didn't ask any of the hard-hitting questions yet. I'll have to
That's okay.
get around to
I don't have any
next
hard-hitting answers. All my answers are soft.
time. Softballs only around here, but
I'll tell you about the tragedy of the watermelons next time I'm on.
Oh no!
I'll leave that as a stinger for the next
a little
episode.
cliffhanger. All right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Thank you for joining me, and thank you guys for watching. And then, as always, stay safe out there. Until next time, peace out.